Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do, it's going to be so long. In fact, get yourself a drink. It's going to be the longest video I've filmed in a while. I have a bag of things. It doesn't look like a very big bag, but it's enough things to keep me chatting for a while. So we're going to talk 2023 favourites. I really struggled with this because for the past 6 months I've been kind of like, not wearing makeup that much. The things that I've been wearing have been very, like, it's the same all the time. So that was kind of easy to do for the last 6 months, but casting my mind back to what I enjoyed at the first half of the year, it feels like 3 years ago. So much has happened in the last 6 months that I couldn't even connect. So I kind of had to go back to watch a little bit of my content, look through Instagram. What was I enjoying? I picked some things that I felt like had pulled through to the second half. Really the only thing that I had as like a rule was that I had to have used it for at least 6 months for it to feel like an annual favourite. And I think that I've done that in this. Some of the stuff I haven't maybe mentioned that much, but I have been using really, really consistently. I will list and link everything for you below, but I am terrible at this, so if I miss anything, let me know. So I'm just going to pull things out of this bag. I'm not going to go in any kind of order. The Mega shampoo from Aussie. I've gone back, I've tried other, this is the best one. I have other conditioners that I kind of flip between. There aren't any other hair products in this for that reason, because there's nothing that I've used consistently. There's things I've loved, but I couldn't call it an annual favourite. This I've purchased again and again and again. It's basically a clarifying shampoo for me. It just makes my hair feel clean. And I have oily hair. I have also adopted the double wash, which to me for the longest time was like, this is a con. This is what hair product companies want us to do. They want us to be washing our hair twice, use all the products up quicker. I don't think it is a con, actually. I think there's something to it because my hair is definitely lasting me longer between washes when I style it. When I leave it to be natural and do its own thing, it seems to want washing quicker. I don't know what that's all about. But I can go a lot longer since I've done that. It does make sense because you wash your hair the first time, it doesn't lather up that much. There's like oil, there's product, there's dry shampoo, there's whatever. The second time that you wash your hair, it really foams. And that kind of sold it to me as, okay, there is a difference. The first time I'm washing the product out of my hair. The second time I'm washing my scalp. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. And between that and using this shampoo, my hair actually does feel really clean now. So I might try other things in the future again, but this one I have purchased again and again. It's just the best. It's just the best one. Okay, this I'm going to mention, but you can't buy it anymore. It's very disappointing. It's the Too Faced Natural Eyes. I honestly can't believe that they discontinued this. It's insane. It's such a classic. It's like them discontinuing the Naked palette. I can only imagine that their reasoning for doing this is to bring it back and it be like a, oh my god, it's back. Maybe people weren't purchasing it because it was always available. It was a classic. It wasn't the excitement of, oh, it's a new one, I need to buy it straight away. It was just, oh, I can buy that whenever. I don't need it right now. I'll buy it whenever. I think that's what's happened with the Naked palette. I think they've taken it away knowing that they will bring it back and that they need to create like excitement over the palette because it makes no sense. It's just the very, very best eyeshadow palette that exists in the world. The shades that are available in it, I don't know why my camera is pulling super bright. This is just like, these are all matte. Creamy, like white matte shade. This, at the moment, all I've got on are those two shades. I've got that one and that one is what I've got on. Oh, that's not matte. That's not matte at all. These two shades I've got on. This creamy matte, and then I've got this on my crease and a little bit extra like in the corner. Those two alone, I could get by on, honestly. And then you've got this, which is kind of like Urban Decay Sin. It's like a shimmery shade. This is another matte, which I do these three frequently to then like deepen up the same look. This I've got on my lash line as my liner. And then these are, again, this is all kind of like metallics for when I'm feeling a little bit frisky. It's just the very best eyeshadow palette. I could have this and never have another eyeshadow palette. So I cannot understand. The only thing is, maybe, because I went for a long time thinking, oh, I'm going to buy that eventually, but it was like £40. It's like, oh, I don't need to buy it right now. It's always going to be available. That's the only thing I can think because it makes no sense otherwise. I've got other ones from Too Faced, but they are not the workhorses that this one is. Plus, they need you to buy multiple palettes, don't they? That's their bread and butter. They don't want you to have one palette that rules them all. They want you to need 3 to do one eye look. So maybe that's what, I don't know. I don't know. But if you can still buy this somewhere, get it, because it's amazing. Too Faced eyeshadow are amazing. Black Opium. I've never been, in fact, I'm going to put it on right now. That went fully in my mouth. I'm filming this at 7 o'clock at night. I'm not going anywhere. I only put makeup on to film this video. I'm going to taste that later with dinner. I'm never a regular perfume wearer. I am like, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. I forget to use most things unless they are right in front of my face. So this year, I have put this in places that I can see it. And it has actually been used. I have a couple of different perfumes that I could pick from, but this is the one I've picked up most. My daughter also loves it. I think it kind of transcends generations. I don't even know what it is, honestly. It's Black Opium, obviously, but I don't know what the notes are in it. I want to say it's like a fruity vanilla. It's quite sweet. It is, but it also feels like kind of a nighttime and a winter scent. But I've worn it all year and I just love it so much. It's kind of like a sexy scent, I think. Do you know, we're powering through this. It might not be the trek that I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to be here like 50 minutes later. The Foreo, oh, I shouldn't have put this in with all the makeup. I need to wash this properly later. The Foreo Luna 4 Plus. I was going to say, I'm never going to remember which one this was. This was sent to me a year ago, maybe. Initially, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. Whatever. At the time, I was using my red light mask a lot. And I've never really been into like a facial cleansing brush. Since using this regularly, which has been most of this year, I'm not using my red light mask really as much at all. There is red light in this. If I press the button, you can see it. There is red light in this. I slowly go around my face. This is something I can use in the bath. It's fully waterproof. I've got it you can set it up with your phone. I think you can set it up without your phone. But you can set it up with your phone on an app to be exactly what you want it to be. I've got a relatively deep clean. I use whatever cleanser is available. I don't have a cleanser in this year's favourites because I haven't found one that's like, oh my God, any cleanser that is around. And then I just kind of like sit while I'm watching my YouTube videos in the bath and just work it around my face very slowly. It's slower than this. And I feel like it does the job not only of cleansing my skin. I can't see anything. I'm seeing spots. That's a lot of light right next to my eyes then. Just give me a minute. It exfoliates. It makes me feel like extra cleansed, extra clean. Again, getting into that double cleanse thing. I know, who even am I? I never thought this would be the person I became. I give myself like, just wash my face, do my first cleanse, nothing special. And then I go in with like, this is actually cleaning my skin. Not. You know, like when you're in the office and you can hear the printer off in the distance. If you work in a big office, there's just kind of a whir and then it goes off and you're like, oh my God, I've gone deaf. Like you didn't even realise there was that sound in the background until it stops. That's how I feel. Having just had that on for a second, I feel like it's done kind of a sensory number on me. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Stop distracting me. I do the whole thing. My skin feels really, really clean. It feels kind of like, feels clean. It feels cleaner than not using it. And because I'm doing this at least once a day, I'm then not using the full face mask. I have got the eye one that I'm trying right now. Jury's out. I haven't had it long enough to really tell you whether or not it's doing anything special. But most of my melasma is kind of around my eye area. So I think that might be, like if you're similar to me, that might be the one. Because it's only 3 minutes and it's so much easier to use than the full face mask one. But because I'm using red light all over when I'm using this, and I could do it twice a day and then I've got my full however many minutes my mask is, I feel like I'm doing the job of both in once. What? That's not even English language. I feel like I'm doing the job of both things in one step. And this is a nicer experience than having to use the mask. The mask is only annoying because I have to hold it to the bottom of my face. And I'm already in the bath, I'm cleansing. It's doing so many things at once. It's just like multitasking. Really expensive. There are cheaper versions of the Foreo. But I really, really did like it, and I used it all year. And if I was to not have this anymore, if it broke, I would repurchase it. I probably wouldn't repurchase this one. This is the only thing. Because there are cheaper versions of this that have the red light, but they don't have this. I never ever use this. This on the back, this is microcurrent. And this does the same thing as the thing back here. The new face. I can't get it. Here it is. It does the same thing as the new face, in theory. I don't like this. These tiny little things are supposed to do the same thing as this. I'm not talking about this because I've got a new one of these. It's enormous. I do love this. But this was sent to me as well. There's going to be another video on the new face. I'm going to talk about this next year. But I do really, really like this. This is a very temporary effect. It's not going to do anything permanent. But you use like a gel, an ultrasound gel. And this is a microcurrent. You can't feel anything. But it kind of like tightens. It does, 100%. It tightens something. I don't know if it's the muscles. You know, like those like ab things that people used to use in the like 2000s. Like that, but for your face. It tightens. It lifts. You can see a visible difference after using it. And I think it lasts all day. It does not last forever. I don't know how well it builds up over time. I don't know if you use it for like 30 days. Will it then last a week? I don't know. But I think if you are someone who is prepared to do something every single day to look firmer and perkier and whatever, it is an incredible device. I don't believe that this can possibly do anything like what this does. So, with that in mind, I love the Freo. I would probably get the one with no bells and whistles and use another red light device because I do think that a facial cleansing brush, I'm completely converted. But all of the other things it's got, I don't know. The red light I like. Not so much the microcurrent. I promise you, I would tell you if I had been sponsored to talk about any of these things. I am not being paid by these companies. I do not have codes to share. There's no benefit to me whatsoever, other than the fact that I use affiliate links. Use them, don't use them. I'm just telling you what I enjoy. I will also go through in the description below, because I could miss something here. I will put a little star. When I go through and list and link everything, I will put a little star next to everything in the description that has been gifted to me at any time. Even if I've purchased it myself since then or before then, I'll put a little star just so you know I have had something to do with that brand. Number 7, Hydraluminous Moisturizing Foundation. This I definitely bought myself, and for multiple times. It's just the best foundation. There are other ones that I could have tried to put in here as like a, well, I also enjoyed. This is just... It's just the very, very best one. I love a lot of number 7 foundations, but this is the one that I feel looks the best, the most. Really killing it with the English today. I think it consistently looks good. I don't have to worry quite so much about, oh, well, it's always gonna look good. Even when my skin is a little bit flaky, a little bit dry, it's the one that is gonna perform the best. If you've got drier skin, I think you'll love it. Even if you've got oily skin, everyone loves hydration. Everyone needs hydration. If you've got oily skin, you still need the hydration. I also love the shade range from number 7. It's got SPF 15, but obviously, as everybody else always says, use a separate SPF because you can't rely on your makeup for SPF, especially if you are prone to hyperpigmentation like me. And as we get older, it is the best anti-aging step. SPF. I probably should have included one in here, but again, haven't found one that I'm so committed to that I won't try something else. Whereas this feels like a lifelong favourite. This is just, I can't imagine, unless they reformulate it and it's completely different, I can't imagine me ever telling you I don't love that. Pixi. So I have a couple of things from Pixi in here. Pixi have sent me lots of things over the years. FYI, I'm nearly finished with this. This I've got on today. It's the Flawless Beauty Primer. I've only got one hand I can swatch things on today because this is a burn. It's a burn from a curling iron, but whoo, it's not your average burn. This, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell because it's so bright, the light that I have. So bright. But it is a sheeny. The only issue I have with this, I think it only comes in one colour. It's definitely like my skin colour. I don't know how this would work for people with much deeper or much paler skin, and I don't think it comes in different shades. It just says for all skin types, hydrating radiance primer. It doesn't say anything about a shade, so I suspect this is not very inclusive. But it's not something I would use necessarily. No, maybe I would use it on its own. If I put it all over my hand, you can kind of see it's sheeny. It is sheeny. I would maybe put that like top half of my face and then do concealer and look very glowy. I think you can kind of see it come through my foundation because I've just got my Hydraluminous on. Glowy, glowy. I love it. It's gorgeous. It's just a sheen as well, not sparkly. But it does work for me because of the colour. It just so happens to work for me, but it's not going to work for everyone. Pixi On The Glow Bronze. This was my... This and something else. I've got two, I want to say. Yes, I've got two. These were my most used blushes this year. I was really into like a stick and a cream formula. The On The Go blush. Look at that. It's like, again, just a real hint of something. When I was wearing very minimal makeup, I would do like maybe a bit of concealer, swipe this on, done. I love these. These stick on the go products from Pixi are really, really good. I've got bronzers from them, again, sent to me, FYI, but they are really, really well loved in my collection. The other one is the Milk Makeup. I got this as a sample at some point, I think maybe from Sephora, ages ago, like maybe in America Sephora. And again, a creamy product. This is Werk Lip and Cheek. And I think they might have changed the packaging since then. I actually recently got a sample of a Milk Makeup product and it's absolutely teeny tiny. Still a decent amount of actual product for a sample. This used to be like a free sample size. And the full sizes were like huge. Like you were never ever going to need to repurchase it. I think that they have dramatically reduced the sizes of their full sizes and then as such gone and done that with the samples as well. But this was originally a sample size, which is kind of crazy. But I loved my cream products this year. Another cream product that I had that I used so much, and you will not be surprised to see, is the Cheeks Out Butter Biscuit bronzer from Fenty. This is very well loved. Look at that, I've even hit pan. That never happens. Actually hit pan. And I'm wearing this today. This was my very favourite cream bronzer. I would never have necessarily picked this shade. It kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks orange, but it's got that kind of greenness to it as well, which tends to work, tends to look a bit more natural, but it blends out like an absolute dream. You know, sometimes with creamy bronzers, they can, as you try and blend them, they don't look good. They kind of look patchy and horrible. Not this. This is so, it blends really well, like it's a really, really creamy product, but then it doesn't set. But it's like it has like an end point. You kind of blend it out and then it's like that's it. But you've got a lot of time to work with it. You've got a lot of stretch. I really, really loved that. Until that was my absolute favourite, and that would have been the only one mentioned until I tried the Primark Cream Contour. Obviously it's not a bronzer, but I basically used it in exactly the same way. I did a whole video. I don't know if it was a full video or if it was like a short. Comparing this to the Charlotte Tilbury, the contour that's like this, because this is obviously supposed to be a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury. This is so much nicer. They're two completely different products, really, because the Charlotte Tilbury one is like a sheer gel type formula, whereas this is like it's quite a heavy, I'll show you on top of here. I don't want to like get a load of product out, but it's quite a heavy thing. It's not, the Charlotte Tilbury is like just a completely different animal. But again, this blends out really nicely. And this ended up being my most used bronzer for the second half of the year. And it's from Primark, but legit amazing. Really, really good. I didn't manage to get the cheek product version of this, but if I find it in store, I will buy it and I think I'll use a lot as well because I'm really impressed by this one. I did use the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk blush version of that and I really enjoyed it. But it didn't make the 6-month cut. While we're on Primark, how could I not mention the Niacinamide? Beginning of the year, I was so obsessed with Niacinamide serums, and I loved this. I tried a few different ones. This was my favourite. Could not find it in my local store, and a couple of you very kindly offered to get it, and one of you I took up on it, and you sent me a couple of bottles. So I'm kind of done for now. I think I've got 3 bottles. I'm good for now. I use this very, very regularly. Maybe not every single day, but very, very regularly. It definitely helps with oil control. I think it's great for blemishes when you've got breakouts and stuff. It just kind of is a more gentle way of trying to even out your skin and make it a little bit less combination. That's how I find it. It seems to help with like control, balancing is the word I'm looking for, to balance the oiliness, the breakouts, and the maybe dehydration. I don't know what wonder ingredient niacinamide is, but this seems to be the one that worked best for my skin. I do have a couple more skincare products in here. I've got Skin and Me. Now, this was an off and on relationship. I definitely was using it for more than 6 months of the year. I'm back on the Skin and Me train now. I stopped because my skin was kind of going haywire when I was on my antidepressant, and the blemishes and the stuff was just crazy, and I was trying to pare down all my skincare to see what was going on before I realised it was probably a hormonal because of that. And then when you try and get back into using it, your skin goes through a purge phase. I was about to go on holiday to Florida for 2 weeks, and I was also very, very aware that when you use things with certain ingredients, in this case it would be tretinoin, it can make your skin more susceptible to the sun. And I didn't want to be in full-blown sun for like 2 weeks in Florida and end up doing more harm than good. So then I waited and I waited, and I was kind of like, when is a good time to start again? And a couple of months ago, I kind of pushed myself through the purge phase, and I'm back. I'm back in it now. It does make such a huge difference to my melasma, my pigmentation. I can't tell you it does anything incredible elsewhere in my skin. Otherwise, I have no other specific issues I'm asking them to do anything about. I have been invited to send some update pictures. I think it's been 2.5 years, so I've done this before, but recently I was invited to send some update pictures so that they can change my prescription, and I think I might do that and ask for something more hydrating, because I feel like my skin is different now than it was then. At that point, all I really worried about was my pigmentation. I wanted to fade it. It has definitely faded, not in any small part down to this, and I will use Skin and Me potentially forever for that reason, but I do maybe want my prescription to change to something that's going to help with hydration as well, like, because I am getting drier as I get older. Tretinoin is supposed to be absolutely incredible for anti-aging as well, so we'll see, but I am using it for melasma right now. I'm, again, not sponsored, have been sponsored once before by Skin and Me, not sponsored, do pay for my own prescription and have done for a really long time, and I even paid for one for my daughter as well. I've almost finished with this. I did just buy another of the Pixi serums. This is the Pixi Essence Oil. It's like the other one's a vitamin C serum, or an oil, sorry. It's like a priming oil that you can use either in your skincare or before you put on makeup. And I am completely converted to oil before makeup. With, again, the dry situation that I've had, I try to avoid powders. I'll use powder when I'm going to be on camera like this, because you don't see me up close. If you saw me up close right now, I'd have like dryness. People often will be like, "Oh, your makeup looks so nice." Yeah, from a distance, it looks great. When you watch people on YouTube, their makeup might look really, really nice. You might get real close up to, that's not so nice. It's not so nice in person. I put on a lot heavier makeup when I'm filming something like this than I would in real life. In real life, I would do an oil, I would do minimal base, mascara, a little bit of cream, blush or bronzer, both, and probably something. I do like a bold lip. But I try to wear things that are going to wear nicely and that I'm not going to be self-conscious when I'm talking to someone. How is my skin looking? Like, is it like flaky? Has my foundation like gathered in all of the dryness or into my creases, all that stuff. And I find that wearing an oil underneath my foundation or whatever base it's going to be, and avoiding powder, that's the key for me. Like, if I'm going in the office, that's what I'm doing. I really only do powder if I'm going for like a really, not heavy night out, but I'm going for like a long night out, like heavy makeup, and I want it to last, and I'll do like a lot of layers, and it takes me a long time to like try and make it look as skin-like as possible. Then I break out my Morphe setting mist. There's a reason it's not in this year's favourites. I just have not been wearing makeup heavy enough to warrant that setting mist. It's still amazing, but I just haven't been using it. Whereas this year I've been more all about like natural looking skin, and the Pixi oils are fantastic for that. I also included this, the Gua Sha Stone. I've used this a ton. This is like, it's half of what this does. So part of the reason that I love this so much, I get a lot of kind of puffiness here around there's a word for it and I forget what it is, but there's kind of like a puffy area. It's almost like a mylar festoon, something like that. Like I don't have like really puffy bags under my eyes there, but I have puffiness that comes like down here. In certain lights, I'll see it when I'm vlogging and I'm like, ooh, don't love that. Do not love that angle on me. And that's when I started using this as a facial massage tool. You can get them for like super, super cheap. You can get them from everywhere now. But there are loads of techniques. There's like a 10-minute technique on YouTube that is fantastic that I followed for ages. You can find it. It's like got millions of views. It'll be the first thing that comes up. But I was following something and I was definitely seeing a difference. Again, I would do half my face. I was seeing an instant result, much like with this. The difference was it was like helping with lymphatic drainage. It was definitely helping with the puffiness. This was lifting my face. So if you want to try, like, this would be a good thing to do if you are experiencing something similar to me, you get a lot of puffiness. You want to see, am I prepared to sit and do like a 10-minute cycle of something every single day? Because if you're not prepared to use this every single day, this is a waste of money. It might be absolutely fantastic. It might work wonders, but it's not going to do anything if you don't use it. So if you were considering a tool like this, I would say get something like this and a facial oil. Use this every single day for at least a month or so. Just see whether or not you can really commit to that time every single day before you spend big money on something like this. But I really do. I think this is fantastic. At the moment, I've got this in my makeup bag because I've started using it with my Pixi oil. When I'm going to do my makeup, I put it on and then I'm doing my facial massage. And it just kind of, blood flow helps with the puff. It does make a difference. I'm not a professional. I can't tell you what it does. I can just tell you I can tell when I've used it. Okay, I've got only a few things left and it's almost exclusively eyes. Almost. Are you surprised that this brush has made the cut? You are not. I don't know if it was this year or last year that I discovered this brush. It's the Pro Foundation brush from Sephora, the number 47. So great, I bought it twice. I would buy another one in a heartbeat because you just never know. What if they stop making it? I would be so disappointed. There's something about this brush. It's the way that it is shaped, the way it's angled. I use this as my foundation brush. You can get into your eyes with it because it's got that kind of like doe foot. Get really in your eyes there. It like, you can still do the paint around your face thing, but it's dense so you can kind of buff a little bit. And then you've got that edge. So you can also like do a little bit of contour. It's incredible. It's the best brush. I basically apply everything with it. The It Cosmetics dual-ended face brush I really like as well, but this has completely surpassed it. And if you can get it because it's always out of stock. Another tool that I use almost every single time I do my makeup now are the Tweezermen lash curlers. So this, again, had to be included. I can't tell you that these are like life-changing lash curlers because they're pretty much the only lash curlers I've ever had. They might not be the most amazing, but they are the ones I have, and I'm really impressed by them. This, I must remember to clean this because I've used this to clean out my, my sharpener. I wanted to say nail something to my pencil sharpener. And so it's currently got lip liner on it. And I must remember to clean that before I go and try and swipe my brows with it and put lip liner on my eyebrows. But this is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Taupe. I tried a few different ones this year. I kept trying to find different ones that were a little bit cheaper. It's not like this is super expensive, but it's £10. And I don't want to buy it. It's not exciting. You know, when you start, it's like a foundation. You find a foundation that works and you're like, oh my God, this is the best foundation I've ever used in my entire life. Really? Did I just put something on? Caught myself with the lip liner brush. Put it over there. You know, when you first find that product that is exciting and it's like, this is all my dreams come true. That's great at that point. And then it becomes annoying to have to repurchase it because then it works. It's not exciting anymore. When I first tried that, I was probably like, this is amazing. I love the way it makes my brows look. I love how easy it is to use. I love the colour of it. And now it's just a chore to have to keep repurchasing it because it's not exciting anymore. It's just part of my things. It's just annoying, you know? So that is the only annoyance that I have with that. It's £10 and I want it to be less because I have to buy it. I have this Physicians Formula Gel Eyeliner. It came in a trio. I like all four of them. A trio. I like all three of them, but the satin one I like the best. This is really the only eyeliner that I've used this year. It is a twist up, which is great because you never have to sharpen it, and they are just really, really creamy to use. They're, again, there's 3 of them. Satin matte and like a shimmer, I want to say. And they're all exactly the same colour, but just different formulas. This one is just my favourite. It's super creamy to use. It's almost immediately, it's like, you can smudge it, but it's not like crazy to say how creamy it goes on. And I just love it to like smudge along my lash line, give me a little bit of something, and then I do that and I'm done. It's really easy, quick. I don't know if you can buy it on its own, but it would be worth buying the trio. You will use all 3 of them, but it would be worth buying the trio just for that one. What else have I got? Ooh, I almost lost this. I was looking in every single bag I own just to talk about it today. The Kylie Candy K lip liner. Again, I don't know if you can buy this on its own. I bought it in a lip kit. It's the only thing from Kylie that I've bought, but it sold me on Kylie. I haven't bought anything else from her range. But again, it's super creamy. I wear this just as a lipstick on its own. It came with a liquid lip, which I don't really love. But these are like lipsticks in crayons. And I love the colour. It's like a warm nude. It's a really gorgeous colour. I love it. I wear it all the time. Most of the time when people ask me what I'm wearing on my lips, it's this. So I will absolutely 100% buy another one of these. I might try more from Kylie in 2024. I know some people just hate the Kardashians. I get it. I don't care. But if you like Kylie Cosmetics, let me know what else you think I should try. Lancome Lash Idole. This is the mascara that finally pushed me over the edge to be like, okay, actually, higher cost mascaras aren't the waste of money that I thought that they would be. Fair enough, this was sent to me. I didn't actually purchase it with my own cash, but it lasts so long. Just as I was absolutely on the cusp, like it was in my cart, I was gonna buy it. I had like a cart of things from Sephora and it was in my cart, and Lancome sent me a box of things and it was in there. So I didn't have to buy it again, but I promise you, swear with all my heart, I swear on Christmas, I was going to buy it with my own money. A couple of people said, it might have only been one, in my mind, it was 1,500 people, said that I would definitely go back to my Maybelline Lash Sensational once it was done, and I only liked it because it was sent in PR. I swear to you, that is not true. I always bear in mind whether or not I would be prepared to pay for it with my own money. Sometimes something's great, but I wouldn't buy it. This is a great example. The new face that I keep talking about. I did buy this. I bought the small version with my own cash. I don't know if I would have bought the big one. It's not better. It's just bigger. It's not better than the little one. The little one, you basically get all the same things. For me, it comes with extra attachments, but again, that's a separate thing. But my main thing would be, are you really going to use it? Because if you're not going to use it, it's a waste of cash. At the moment, I'm using an Hourglass translucent setting powder. It's the Veil. I've never raved about this. I use it every time I do my makeup, but I only use it because I've got it. I will never ever buy this. It's just a translucent setting powder. It's not magical. There's nothing about this that would make me recommend it to you at all. This is different. This is better than the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and it lasts maybe 3 times longer. So although it is more expensive, there's more value in it. It makes more sense to buy this than it does to buy that, because this gives me the same effect that the Lash Sensational plus the Lash Sensational Primer used to give me. You can't buy that primer anymore. That was 2 products. They would last me 3 months, absolute maximum. This lasted me 9 easily, and it gives me the best lash experience. I'm really finicky about mascaras, but if you like Lash Sensational and you wanted to treat yourself, I don't think you would be disappointed with this. I'll show you the brush. It doesn't really look like much of anything. It's not got much bristles, but it's that like plasticky wand. I would not be impressed by this. If I saw it in the store, I'd be like, eh. Again, some things you just need to try for yourself. And the last thing, oh, actually, I think I mentioned this earlier. Did I mention this earlier or was it in another video? I did throw this in here. I've only had one of these, but I did want to mention it because I've tried so many blemish stickers this year, like blemish patches. This is the best one. I keep trying more, thinking I'm going to find one cheaper than this. This is the best one. If you like a blemish patch, I've tried more expensive ones than this as well, but mostly cheaper. If you like a blemish patch, you like to have them in for as when you get a breakout, these were the very best that I found. If you have a good time with salicylic acid, because I tend to pick things based on the ingredients. Salicylic acid is something that my skin reacts well to when it comes to removing or reducing breakouts. And these have got salicylic acid in them. If that is a good ingredient for you, I think you will really like these. You put them on and they kind of like expand. There's something happens inside them and they're amazing. Would recommend. Right, lastly, I've definitely talked about this for years. It's the NYX HD Studio Eyeshadow Base. This is the thing that was better than the Urban Decay one. It gives you that same kind of like neutral base. I still like to put something else on over the top of this, so I'll put like either a loose powder or like a creamy shadow if I'm going to do something elaborate, because otherwise I feel like it doesn't blend very well. But it gives you kind of like a matte base to work with, and it really stays put. You don't get that creasing, you don't get any kind of smudging. The one thing that it doesn't really help with is transfer. So if you've got eyeshadow down here and you're like talking like me, hooded eyes, talking like me, very expressive with the eyes, then I still tend to get transfer up here. It can't really help with that, but it does really help with the staying power of your eyeshadow and stopping it from creasing. That is everything. I think that's everything. I'm sure I've missed some things. I'm going to ask you guys in a minute what you think was on this list on Instagram. So I'm going to be really interested to see if any of you mentioned something that I'm like, I should have done that earlier. Should have asked you earlier what you thought. But we'll see. That'll be interesting to see whether or not you think of anything that I forgot to mention. It probably was a really long video in the end. I just kept going off on tangents. This is the way I go. This is the way these things happen for me. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I promise I'll be back with more beauty content very soon. I've got an empties coming shortly. And then we're going to get into the new year. Let's talk about resolutions. Let's talk about what we want from 2024. I am coming into a new era. I'm just warning you. I am on my countdown to 40, and there are things I want to achieve. There are things I want to accomplish. I don't want to be a different kind of person. I want to be I want to move into the person that I want to become, and you're going to come on that journey with me. So look out for that, for those of you that are interested. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!